What would you have done? Like, imagine if you hadn't gotten derailed and they hadn't conspired against you, and you actually became the Democratic candidate for president and you won. What would you have done differently?
Okay. How many hours do we have?
We got all the time in the world, Bernie.
I know.
What would you have done first day in office?
Well, it's not just the first day. I would have dealt with this campaign finance reform issue. And there are ways that you can get around that Supreme Court decision.
How do you do that?
You move toward public funding of elections, which says that, Joe, you want to run against me? That's great. But you're not going to get super PAC money. We're going to publicly fund you. You know, you get 1,500 signatures that says you're a serious candidate. You'll get a certain amount of money to run for office.
So
you and I will
funded by the government.
Yes, absolutely.
So someone running for president funded by the current president.
Well, not the current president.
No, but the current
Congress.
government.
And people say, oh, taxpayer dollars are going there. But that makes a lot more sense than having billionaires fund elections, which is what you got right now. So that's number one.
So you think there should be, when you get a certain number, you just get a certain allotted amount of money that you could use for your campaign,
right.
and everybody gets the same amount?
That exists in some places right now.
Does it? Where?
Yeah, in New York City right now.
Oh, in New York City. Yeah.
And other places as well. So if you agree, you're going to raise, you're not going to raise private money. You go the public route. It exists in a number of communities, and I think that is.
Did you watch the New York City debates, the mayoral
I heard.
debates?
I got involved, and I'm supporting Mr. Mandani.
A lot of people are. Well, especially after that debate.
Right.
It seems like everybody else was essentially saying, I've been to Israel more than you've been to Israel. I'm going to go to Israel before you do.
Right. They think they're campaigning to be foreign, minister for Israel or something. But talk about money in politics.
Yes.
Just look at New York City. Right now, there's the election tomorrow, I think, right? I think it's tomorrow. Tuesday, what's today, Monday? Tomorrow's Tuesday, right?
Yes.
That's the election. They're spending a huge amount of money. These are Democratic, or some cases.
Who's in the lead right now?
The polls say Cuomo by a little bit, but I think Zohran has a lot of momentum. We'll see.
Polls are weird.
In a race like that, yes.
Well, they're weird in every race. They were wrong with Hillary in 2020, or in 2016, rather. They were wrong in 2024 with Harris and Trump. Like, I don't understand polls because I have a feeling that the majority of them are inaccurate.
Well, I think they are increasing. I don't know the answer to your question. The pollsters would argue that's not the case, but I think you got a lot of folks who are not all that enthusiastic about honestly giving honest answers to a pollster.
Absolutely. Yeah, and that's true too. Yeah.
And that's
part of the problem, right?
All right, but you asked me on my first day as president. Well, I have you drop in, say hello.
Hi.
Have a cup of coffee. All right.
All right.
Good. And then I think we'd declare something like our healthcare system as an emergency and figure out ways that we can do what every other major country on earth does, and that is guarantee health care to all people. So one of the things you do is say, okay, we need tens of thousands of more doctors and hundreds of thousands of more nurses and dentists and so forth and so on. And we're going to move aggressively to make sure that in America, everybody in this country has health care as a human right. So I think that's number one. Number two, at a time of massive income and wealth inequality, you don't give tax breaks to billionaires. You demand that they start paying their fair share of taxes. And one of the problems that we have, it's not just an American issue, it's a global issue. A lot of these zillionaires are hiding their money in tax havens in the Cayman Islands and elsewhere. And that's